Hey, we're live. Awesome. Hi, everybody. It's me, Brian. I'm dangerous with coffee. I don't have any coffee left. I drank it all. But yes, it's dangerous with coffee with Brian Cates. It's Wednesday, September 25th, 2025. There will never be another Wednesday, September 24th, 2025. Yeah. Okay, we gotta make the most of it. Okay, and things are already happening, and things are really cracking today. We just had this ICE shooting going on in Dallas. This is like the second time there's been a confirmed shooting event at an ICE facility. After 4 months. I mean, it was one in July. About 3 months ago, an ICE officer was hit in the neck by a bullet. And then this morning, get up and I saw somebody showing screenshots claiming that there had been a shooting. And naturally, uh, having been burned several times with the whole fake screenshot thing, I held off on that. Somebody was saying WFAA news station in Dallas is saying that several people have been shot at an ICE facility. But they didn't post the link, they posted a screenshot. I'm like, well, shit. I've fallen, I'm skeptical. I've fallen for that before. I need to wait to find the link. So I spent like 10, 15 minutes looking, searching for anything. I didn't see anything. And right after I gave up and was posting on something else, about 15 minutes, 30 minutes later, 15 minutes after I stopped looking, the WFAA Dallas channel link, Telegram, Twitter post came across my feed. Yes, it's real. Yes, there's been a shooting. Yeah, okay, but I held off on that because, there's too many people out there making up fake shit, okay? And I'm the one telling everybody, don't just leap to believe something because somebody showed you a screenshot, all right? It turns out, yes, this is real. There was a shooting at an ICE facility this morning. And we don't have any official verification yet. Christy Noam just did a post a few minutes ago, but she won't go beyond saying that there were fatalities. Bullets were fired into an ICE facility, but they won't say who it was that was shot. We know the sniper is dead. They're reporting that. Multiple sources. Norm is saying the sniper is dead. WFAA is saying the sniper is dead. So they killed himself, yeah. So, but there are reports that the targets of the shooting were not ICE officers. Assuming this person could see well enough into the facility to pick out particular detainees. This is speculation here now, okay? There's no confirmation for any of this. The person was after the detainees inside the building and appears to have hit only detainees. It's going to be easy for people like Jimmy Kimmel, who's back on the air, by the way. Jimmy Kimmel got his show back last night. He's back on the air. 4 days Disney said, okay, we're indefinitely suspending his show. They just suspended it for 4 days. Then they said, okay, no harm, no foul. We sat Jimmy down. We had a nice heart-to-heart talk with him. We're putting him back on the air. Jimmy's back on the air now. It's going to be easy for people like Kimmel, even whatever the facts turn out to be, because they've already proven they'll do this shit with the Charlie Kirk assassination. They've already shown what they're willing to do. It's going to be easy because of who the targets were. That these were not specifically ICE officers being targeted here. These were the detainees. It's going to be incredibly easy for people like Kimmel and Jake Tapper and all the ladies on The View, the parts of the American popular media culture, news culture, that they still retain control of. They still have control of some of it. Um, it's going to be easy for them to say the shooter was MAGA. It's going to be easy for them to do that. Well, a lefty, a left-leaning, you know, Democrat sniper would not target the innocent ICE detainees, those poor illegal immigrants being detained at that awful facility in Dallas. One of ours would not do that. Okay. Here's what you have to understand. I did a post on this. Let me get it up there. I just did a post on this because one of the accounts I follow was talking about this. C3, yeah, talking about there's been another leftist terror attack. All right, there's something you have to understand about the people that are driving this events like Charlie Kirk's assassination and events like what I believe this event in Dallas is going to turn out to be. Okay, you make a serious mistake when you describe the people that are behind this. Now, I'm not saying the puppets, the patsies that they use aren't left. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the people who are behind this are not left or right. That's part of the deception. That's part of the illusion that's created. That's part of the division operation. So C3 says, "Oh look, another leftist terror attack." And well, let me watch it again so you can see what he was saying. Um,
Lawrence, and that's why I mentioned that Sally Port. So apparently, it occurred when detainees were being brought into the Sally Port. This shooter, we're not sure exactly where he was located, but was able to shoot into that Sally Port and struck at least 3 people. That shooter now is down from the self-inflicted wound, so we may not know exactly what his plan was, what they were intending to do, other than to shoot people this morning at an ICE facility. We'll learn more as we get it. And particularly, we're interested, obviously, in learning about the conditions of the 3 individuals that were struck this morning.
Yeah, that's I-35. The east side is where you see most of the traffic. People are probably slowing down to watch and see what's going on. Look at all of the police cars. There's so many lights that go all the way up to the top. This is the access road in Texas. You have your main highway, and then you always have those access roads that run alongside or parallel to the highway.
Hey, Griff, I also noticed that some people are reporting the sniper is on a rooftop. Have you heard that? So we don't have that confirmed ourselves, but I'm talking directly to ICE authorities, and we're going to learn more about that. But I did see a local report that there would be a rooftop. And Brian, as you look at both the map on our screen as well as the surrounding area of the law enforcement response, you can see several rooftops. And for anyone that's, been to a facility like this, the Sally, Lawrence, and that's what.
okay. Now that's what was posted, and I can see immediately that the narrative is shaping another leftist terror attack. Okay, and I want to focus on the fact this is how they keep America divided. You're on team left or you're on team right. Or, there's certain people that are saying, I'm in the middle. I'm team middle. I'm not left or right. I'm team centrist. Okay, they keep everybody divided in their own little tribe. I'm team left. Yay, team blue. Or I'm team right. Yay, team red. And one of the biggest reasons that they do events like this and they send out patches to dressed in leftist clothing, they either are really left or they're pretending to be left. And so they can cause everybody to withdraw into their own tribe. See, so right is under attack from the left. We must withdraw. There can be no dialogue with these people. We cannot unify with these people. Our political divisions that divide us must become higher than ever before so we can protect ourselves from these leftist people. Okay? And this is the narrative. They're constantly trying to program you with this. Okay? Left versus right. Oh, look, another leftist terrorist attack. So here's what I posted, and I want you to think about this. Okay, think about it. Fun fact to keep in mind if you watch events like this unfold, the CIA and its paramilitary units it's created that run criminal networks for the oligarchs. You've been programmed to call these paramilitary units gangs, like MS-13, Trenta Agua. They're not really left or right. You're told they're commies. Okay? You're told they're left. They are leftist, commie Marxist scum. All right, they're not really leftist. The oligarchs' families who run our CIA, who our CIA always really been working for, they're not really left or right. You understand? Just people try to simplify this to say Soros is a communist. Oh no, he's not. Oh no, he's not a communist. But he supports all these subversive groups, all these radical, revolutionary extremist groups. Yes! Yes, he does. Why? Why does he do that? Well, to provoke a reaction. What type of reaction? Well, he pays for these leftist revolutionary groups to go out there and do shit like riot and break stuff and assault and kill people. Okay, and who do they target? Well, they target the other side of the political spectrum. Left versus right. He sicks the left on the right. How does the right respond? We withdraw into our tribe. Withdraw into our tribe. Yeah. You start this, now when you don't know about Operation Gladio, and you don't know who our CIA out there works for, and you don't know any of this shit, all right, and you think Team Red versus Team Blue is real, it's not being managed behind the scenes. Same people are funding a lot of the Team Red groups out there that are constantly at war with the Team Left groups, and they're play fighting each other. If you think that's real, okay, you will react how they expect you to react. I mean, what have you since Charlie left us? What have you seen certain people say? Well, okay, talking with these people doesn't work. Charlie tried that. It doesn't work. It's time to stop talking to these people. It's time for everybody to withdraw into their tribe. And we're going to keep hammering this home. Left versus right. Democrat versus Republican. Progressive versus conservative. They're going to keep hammering this home. It's a division tactic. So if the oligarchs' families who run our CIA and who our CIA has always really worked for are not really left or right, this is a division tactic by a hostile foreign entity. Okay? That's what this is. They create attacks like this because they know how, by using the leftist groups, revolutionary groups they fund and control, they use that to attack the right because they know how the people they fund and control on the right are going to react to the attack from the left. They're going to come out and say, it's time to stop talking. It's time to retreat from each other. It's time we cannot have unity with these people. And they spend all day putting this programming out there. A forever divided and fractured America. Okay. And you'll buy into this. You'll buy into it. If they killed Charlie Kirk, we tried talking. Talking doesn't work. It's time to stop talking. But what did Charlie tell you? When people stop talking, that's when the bad shit starts happening. Okay. The same people who've been playing Team Red versus Team Blue games with our country, okay, for over 100 years now. The same people who've been doing that. They want you to buy into the fact that you must hate the left, you must attack the left, you must destroy the left. These programmed people who are brainwashed, you have to hate them. You have to stop trying to reach them. You have to stop trying to wake them up. And here's something else you need to consider. A lot of people who are on the right are not really your friends, all right? They're funded by the same people. They fund both sides. This is, once you figured out what they're doing, how they're doing it in various different arenas, the same people who created the Muslim Brotherhood and created Hamas and created the PLO and created Al-Qaeda and created ISIS and made use of them for certain events, okay? The same people who did that created, on the right now, supposedly, okay, they created Israel. They created the secular nation of Israel. And what have they done ever since they did that? They set one group they created against the other group they created. And the Iron Bank makes a ton of money and profits off of the doom and destruction and death and devastation from the never-ending conflict they support. Somehow my tax dollars, okay, my tax dollars at work, missiles being launched by the PLO, being launched by Hamas into Israel, somehow also my tax dollars, defensive iron shield missiles being launched by Israel. My tax dollars here, my tax dollars here. Okay. You're waking up to template, aren't you? You're waking up to how they do this. But some of you got to take that next step. Left versus right is an artificial thing. They foster it, they create it, they support it, they neuter it. And now they reached the point where they did this in the 60s. Okay. All those over 2,500 bombings occurred in America between just 1970 to 1972. All right. Who do you think was funding all these violent revolutionary groups? People tell you the commie subversives. It was the USSR. It was the CCP. Oh no, it wasn't. It was the fucking oligarchs. It was the oligarchs. Well, then the oligarchs are commies. You see, people have this. It's like solipsism. They can't break the programming. All right. It's like a solipsism. You have this one idea so deeply ingrained in your head. It's the commies. Well, it's the super duper wealthy oligarchs families that stay behind the curtains and run everything from behind the curtains. If they're supporting leftist terrorism, the terrorism coming into America from the left to provoke and drive a certain reaction on the right, well, then the oligarchs must be a bunch of fucking commies then. That is a confusion of thought. So, America is waking up to the division tactics they are using on us. We're waking up to it. Yay, team left. Yay, team right. Team red, team blue never talk to each other. That's not allowed. You're not allowed to do that. What was Charlie Kirk doing? Why did they need to get rid of Charlie Kirk? And why are they amazed if they're watching what's actually unfolding? Now, people I just told you about, the social media influencers out there saying it's time to stop talking to each other. It's not working. It doesn't work. It's time to get the guns out. It's time to go and make this happen. It's time to do this is now, all right? Time to stop talking. It's time to get serious. And somebody put a video on my feed. Some guy wearing a red ball cap and a beard, talking about Donald Trump is time. Call for a civil war, man. Time for the guns to come out, you know. And yeah, these people are out there, all right? Left versus right, blue versus red. My tax dollars that work on Team Blue. Somehow also my tax dollars that work on Team Red. Who benefits? Who's driving this? So you instantly recognize a lot of the people supporting literal Team Blue terrorism and domestic terrorism. They lie about it. They cover it up. Okay, it's easy to spot them. The response. Okay, they're defending what their side is doing. I've been talking about this for a couple of days now. How the Democratic Party is having to come out and say, give us what we want or the rioting will continue. We'll unleash our BLM Antifa goon squad on your city, and we will make it prohibitively costly for you not to give us what we want. I'll be going into that in a minute because I did a long post. By the way, I'm ending at 11 a.m. because I have an appointment I have to go to. I couldn't cancel it. Okay, so I'll be leaving at 11 a.m. I'm going for an hour today. Somehow I have to get a move on. Okay. They've been using the threat of rioting to try to get what they want. Okay. Give us what we want or we'll unleash our goon squad on the streets and we'll make it costly. Okay. They've been pretty much just how, because there's no organic support for their policies on the sexual confusion revolution or anything else, mass migration, you name it, open borders. There's no real organic public support for this. They've literally been maneuvered by Trump into a position where I have to say, give us this or the riots start up again. At the same time, they're forced to say, Antifa, what's that? Antifa doesn't exist. Antifa is an idea. Let's go into the post real quick. Okay, I want you to understand where I'm coming from. Let's go into that post. Let me find it. Okay, yeah. This is a post I did this morning. I'm going to be turning this into a column soon. Let me get it up. Now, this is linking to, it's a rather long one, okay? This is linking to a picture. You don't know who that is. That is actress Jessica Chastain. Chastain, however you say it. You know her from some films she's been in, like she was in Zero Dark 30, and she was in some good movies, the one about the gambling lady. Talented actress. Okay, but this is her latest project, all right? Her latest project is an ABC. Her latest project is an ABC. Okay. Her latest project. Yeah, I'm distracted. Sorry. Somebody's messaging me while I'm on the air. Okay. The latest project is for Apple Plus TV called the Savant, okay? And you know how they've taken the idea of super smart autistic people. If you ever saw, like this was they weren't doing it seriously now. This was an action adventure film series, The Accountant with Ben Affleck. You know the the autistic kid that grows up to become some sort of super capable. Um, it's hard to describe what he is. You have to see the movies. The Accountant. The Accountant 2 came out. I saw it in the theater a couple months ago. Because the first one, I found the first one intriguing enough. That this kid that grows up autistic, he turns into some sort of super genius with numbers, but he's also capable of being a lethal mercenary, you know, and he's got a brother, you know, and it's like the whole thing is just weird. But Hollywood has like taken this idea of super competent autistic people and turning them into crime fighters and the heroes. Okay, and so this is what they've done with the Savant. They created a show where Jessica Chastain plays this mom. She's a mother, and from behind a computer workstation, she's able to go into the internet and find all the evil right wing extremists, males out there planning various things. He's able to bring them to justice and blow up their plans. So I kind of made this opening paragraph. You can understand what I'm getting at here. Okay, this is as if she's speaking, the Savant now, as if she's speaking. This is the plot of the story. I'm so awesome. I'm single-handedly holding back the wave of long anticipated but never seeming to arrive tidal wave of white male right wing domestic terrorism. And I'm so noble, no one will ever know it was me. Holding them back, getting them caught, refusing their bombs because I'm so awesome. That's the Savant. That's the plot of this new TV show. And they figured people were going to eat this up. Right wing extremists out there talking in chat rooms about how much they hate, you know, people that aren't like them. And she's in there, in their midst, moving among them, you see, and she's discerning, you know, their evil plans. She's diffusing their plans and she's getting them caught. This was the premise of the show. So it's canceled. Well, I won't say it's canceled. I will say that Apple Plus has said they're indefinitely delaying. I'll put it that way. They are indefinitely delaying the release of this show. Due to recent events with the Charlie Kirk assassination, we've decided that, you know, as they come up with some bullshit press release, we've decided that we won't be releasing this show at this time. Okay. I'll tell you, it's pretty obvious if you think about it. I'm going through the rest of the post in a minute, but it's pretty obvious if you think about it why they decided to pull back on this. Because the show presents nice Christian, right wing, clean cut, nice looking guys as being the greatest threat America faces right now. And this poor woman laboring mightily to hold back this evil tidal wave, okay, is out there fighting it all by her lonesome. And that's the premise of the TV series. And it seems like the people that created this for Apple Plus stuck their heads up out of their little bubble after they saw what happened to Jimmy Kimmel and said, perhaps this is not the time to release this television series. And we should hold it back for a while and wait for things to calm down. So, here was my take on this now that they've indefinitely delayed the release of this show. I said, this show needs to be preserved in its entirety. Don't change anything. Don't do any reshoots. Take it just the way it was made and put it in the Smithsonian as a benchmark of our strange times, in which one particular national political party was making extensive use of highly organized, violent, very dangerous, and blatantly anti-American radical revolutionary groups, loosely referred to as Antifa, in order to try to dictate social policy via threat against the public safety and the public order. Basically, what the Democratic Party has been saying for the last decade, well, especially since November 2016 when Donald Trump won the election and they released the hounds, okay? We all remember, we all saw the videos, endless videos of the rioting that went on in places like Berkeley and Washington, D.C., leading up to the inauguration of Donald Trump in January 2017. We all saw it, okay? Basically, what these people are saying is, give us what we demand, or the rioting by that idea will continue. The carrot, give us what we want, or you get this stick. Okay, this is the arrangement the Democratic Party's been making with that 2/3 of the country that isn't with them. Okay, while they've been doing that, threatening more riots unless they get their way, these same leaders of this party kept relentlessly gaslighting the public that they didn't know what Antifa was, that it was a mere idea, and that Antifa is under no one's control. Now, it's not unrelated, what they're doing with Antifa. It's not unrelated to this same 1984 party leaders also publicly professing and pontificating over the sudden confusion about knowing what a woman is. This is related. Let me explain why. The use of Antifa and BLM to try to reluctantly drive and steer the country where the 1984 party leaders wanted to go is directly related to their sudden fake as fuck confusion about defining what a woman is. It's a power play based on nonsensical gaslighting, yes, but it's a power play nonetheless. We're going to force you to submit one way or the other. Now, it's not a strong position either. They've been artfully maneuvered into this present incoherence where they're having to do this. Okay, it's becoming more obvious what they're having to do. So they were forced by a certain event into speeding things up to a ludicrous degree, and now they've trapped themselves. You know why? Well, let's get into it. Everyone knows Antifa is real. It's a real organized domestic threat unleashed to terrify people into giving in and allowing certain political policies to ascend, despite there being no real organic support in the country for them. It's about the artificial elevation of open borders, tourist DAs, all the shit that they've been doing to our country. They know there is no real organic support for this. So they're forced to unleash the hounds, unleash the street soldiers, unleash the brown shirts, as it were, onto certain cities to try to drive and steer the country. Now, if you don't give us what we want, we're going to make this cost you a lot, and it will cost you a lot. Give us, get out of our way and let us do this, or else. It's basically what they've been doing. So there's no organic support for the for the agenda of the Democratic Party. They know this. They gaslight you about it, but they know this. Now, everyone knows what a woman is, but the 1984 party leaders are currently pursuing social policy based on direct confusion and obfuscation about the two genders. Their trans agenda is so very much important to them that they've quite deliberately tossed women and girls over the side of the ship as they relentlessly and single-mindedly pursue that precious trans agenda. Even had April Spanberger, I think her name is, who's running for governor of Virginia, tossing out words. I mean, first of all, Spanberger's been running for governor for a while now, governor of Virginia. She's managed to artfully dodge having to go on the record up to this point, up until just a couple days ago. She's managed to artfully shut and jive and dodge having to go on the record if she supports boys in wigs running in girls' sporting events. She's managed to avoid having to give a definitive on-the-record answer to that question. Until about 2 days ago, because the reporter finally managed to catch her where she is on video, and the video's going viral. She's on video talking about this. And she gave this long word-salad answer where basically she says, yes, I support the trans agenda. Yes, I'm going to continue to allow boys into girls' spaces to compete in their sports, to be in their locker rooms, to be in their bathrooms. Yes, I support that. And the country watching this, early on people were thinking, well, this is just some new thing they're introducing just to fuck with all the rest of it, just to mess with us. But the more this goes on, the more it's becoming apparent, hey, there's something at work here, all right? They're starting to realize why this whole sexual confusion revolution, of which the trans agenda is just the latest manifestation of it. They're starting to wake up. Wow, this really means an awful lot to these. They're literally willing to throw themselves on their swords to protect it. Why? Okay, and people are starting to wake up to the fact this is spiritual. Okay. To maintain 1984 party discipline on social policy, and especially their precious sexual confusion revolution, a bubble must be maintained, or a matrix, if you will, that help them maintain a bubble around their declining political base. Because even if all the shit you want to do to our country, there's no real organic support from it, you do have to maintain some level of at least an illusion that you have popular support. You've got to maintain the illusion, or it doesn't work. So this is where Hollywood and the entertainment industry have a role to play in this great unfolding awakening, the spiritual awakening that's going on. But it doesn't have the role that Big Brother wants for it. To keep as many people asleep and programmed as they can, popular television and film projects are created within this 1984 worldview, or what Elon Musk would call the woke mind virus. Projects are crafted within the bubble of the woke mind virus. Okay, that worldview, the woke mind virus worldview, is firmly kept in mind from the envisioning stage through the production stage through the release stage. They understand what the message is that they want to send. Okay. Now, you do have to maintain some semblance of popular support for your 1984 party's social policy agenda, especially the LGBTQ plus stuff. And so it's not only fake rigged elections and fake polls from fake news that's used to maintain the illusion. The ratings of certain TV shows and films are also used as cultural benchmarks to prove that the public supports what the 1984 cult party is currently doing. And this brings me to the Savant again. That now indefinitely shelved, not inexpensive, new television show created for the Apple Plus network. Ever watched the desperate carnival barker furiously trying to create the demand in the disinterested passerby that they really, really want to put their money down, come into the tent and watch like the elephant do tricks? You really want to see this, people, okay? Got to, and nobody's coming forward. The more people don't come forward, or maybe just a few, but he's not making enough money to cover his costs. He starts getting desperate, and you start hearing the frustration and the desperation in his voice, okay? Because he knows he's flunking, he's failing. Too many people are not coming in, he's not making any money. A desperate carnival barker. I want you to have that picture in your head. Well, the oligarchs behind the 1984 cult party and many of our American institutions have taken that sort of thing to an entirely new magnitude. They've always claimed the Hollywood wing of their cult is only making this kind of woke or political messaging content because that's what they want. We give them what they want. Who was that? Richard Dawson in The Running Man. Remember, just before Arnold killed him, Dawson's pleading for his life. He's saying, listen, we just give them what they want. Believe me, I've been doing this for 30 years. And then, Arnold says, yeah, I've been doing this for 30 years. I've been in the store business for 30 years. But I'm going to give people what I think they want. And he throws them in that little thing and sends them out through the street, blows them up. Yeah, but this is what the oligarchs behind Hollywood, this is what they've claimed for decades now. We give them what they want. That's all we're doing here. We're giving you what you want. But when they say it now, they used to say it very confidently. They used to say it with, conviction in their voice. But if you listen to them now, when they make this claim, we're just giving people what they want. They've reached the vocal timbre of a desperate carnival barker when they say this now. And that's a beautiful thing. Did you know that the fake news does the fake news poll thing not to actually reflect public opinion? That's always been allowed. But rather they do the polls to shape and influence public opinion. Well, popular entertainment was just another wing of that same grift. The same people who come to dominate our government via bribery schemes behind the scenes, they dominate our academia, book publishing, music, even sports. Now, as we all know, they absorbed the television film industries long ago, turning them into a propaganda industry. Now, they select your national leaders for you while pretending they're giving you choices as they rig the election outcomes. They control much of academia, ensuring the coming generation of youth is eminently programmable and indoctrinated. One of the most powerful illusions they cast over the American public for the last 100 years is that we're just giving the people what they want via the popular entertainment that they also control. But they've run into a massive problem in the last decade. Far too much of the public began to wake up to what they've been doing. And the illusion only works until the audience figures out you are fooling them. You're pulling a dirty trick on them. And they see how you've been pulling that dirty trick on them. And that is when the magic stops working. And if you're a magician that's been doing very bad things to that audience while you were holding it mesmerized, their waking up to what you've been doing to them becomes a very bad thing for you. Do you know why Apple Plus really shelved the Savant? Not because they suddenly developed the conscience or they thought, oh, this is a bad time to release this because the public will see what we've been doing. Okay. Here's why they shelved it. It's no fun at all when you can't even point any longer to a popular TV show or film to prove you're only giving them what they want. The magic is gone. And it's never coming back. And you can quote me on that. Okay, so that's the rather long post that I made this morning. Thank you for letting me share it with you. When they use popular entertainment to pretend that they have the nation's consent, the nation is assenting to our agenda. Oh man, people are really on board with LGBTQ plus. They're really on board with the trans thing. Why? The Democratic Party is over half of the country. Remember they used to tell you this? The Democratic Party is over half of the country. And so half the country wants open borders. They want more crime. They want service DAs. We're giving the people what they want, okay? And it was always an illusion. And I want you to understand this. A key part to making the illusion work, the key thing that keeps Americans divided so the illusion can work is Team Red versus Team Blue. That's what makes the fucking thing go. And a lot of you are trying to stick with your programming. You want to be on Team Red. Well, we're the victims right now. The Team Blue's coming after us. You know, my tribe isn't safe. I got to represent my tribe, man. And my tribe is Team Red. No talking with Team Blue. No reaching out to Team Blue. Oh, absolutely not. America will never be unified. It will never happen on my watch. Team Red all the way. I bleed Team Red. We need to totally fucking destroy Team Blue and then piss on the ashes. And you see people out there talking like this all the time. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up to how they manipulate you. It's time to wake up to how they keep you separated. It's time to wake up to the illusion they've created that you're still looking at, that you still believe is real. It's not real. This is one America. It's one America. They had to get rid of Charlie because they saw what he was doing and they saw where it was headed. They saw where it was going. They had to get rid of him. And the moment Charlie's gone, all those voices on social media start screaming, get out, get away from those people on the other side. Get away. Stop talking to them. It's time for the guns to come out. Time for civil war. Oh my God, they're starting to shoot us. It's just time for that next step. Time for the civil war. You got all kinds of people out there saying that shit. Completely rejecting Charlie and his method. Oh, what Charlie was doing doesn't work. We're not doing that shit anymore. Okay, you have people out there sounding tough and talking tough, saying that stuff. And, but you need to understand this. Team Red versus Team Blue is gonna lose it. It always has been. I just discovered recently, I got 10 minutes left. Yeah, I'll do this real quick. Let me take you to, I know I've been reading out. I know people don't like it when I read out. See that on here? Oh, I don't have it up. I thought I did. Okay, belay that last. I was about to put up a post. I don't really have it up. I don't have time to go find it. But one of the biggest things I'm having to reassess, I've been on a long, strange journey for 10 years now. Since 2015, I guess I could say Donald Trump coming down, that golden escalator was the beginning of my long, strange journey for the last 10 years. Where you start waking up. I didn't wake up all at once. I woke up in stages. I woke up to some things first and other things later. You have to reassess so much of what you thought you knew, so much you were confident about, so much you were absolutely sure of. That's painful to do that. And one of the things I've recently had to go back and start reassessing is William F. Buckley and his decades-long war with the John Birch Society. Because I spent, from the time I became politically aware, and I thought I'm a conservative. Okay, I became a Christian in 1984. In 1985, I'm in Bible college up there in Minnesota. I started reading all the books, conservative books, Christian books, all the conservative magazines. I started reading NRO. I started reading the Weekly Standard. And by the 1990s, I'm reading Ann Coulter. I'm reading Johnny Goldberg. In the 2000s, I'm reading Ann Coulter, Mona Karen. All of these conservative thought leaders. Bill Costello, Stephen Hayes, George Bush. I'm reading all their stuff. Okay, I spent 40 years steeped in that, from 1980s all the way until about 2017. But for 2 years, almost 2 years, I was anti-Trump. I've always been honest about that. Because I was so, I call it neocon land. I think I'm calling it neocon land like it's a territory. I was so deeply into neocon land, okay, that I took all the criticism of Donald Trump seriously and I adopted it as my own. He's not one of them. He's a complete outsider. He didn't come up, he didn't pay his dues. He's trying to take a shortcut, okay, and go right to the front of the class without paying any dues and coming up through the system and earning it. Okay, yeah, I adopted all that shit. And from when we came down the goal, I think it was June 2015. Don't quote me on that. I have no notes. I'm just going off the top of my head. Whenever that was, he came down the golden escalator to the time he had actually won that election and became president and started doing the job. I got to see what kind of a president he actually was. For like a period of almost 2 years, I was never Trump, and I'm surrounded by all these people that I'm following and I'm listening to. and you wake up and you look back and you realize how deeply you have been betrayed and you've been fooled, and what evil you were participating in, what evil you were blind to. It's not easy to do that. To go back to 9/11. Thank God, for Tucker Carlson and all these other people, like my good friend Tracy Baines, who never gave up on me, even though I used to laugh in her face when she tried to tell me about 9/11, what actually happened. Okay. You have to go back and you have to look at what you thought was settled. And only crazy people believe that shit. 10 years now, I've been on a journey. It's like almost every damn week there's something else I have to go back and look at and reassess. One of those things recently, because I spent all these years reading National Review Online, and I bought William F. Buckley's books, Up from Liberalism or whatever it was, Man and God It. I read a couple of his books. I watched Firing Line. I was 100% true red, white, and blue neocon. Okay, for 40 years. Neoconservative. I had no idea what these fucking people were doing. I was completely fooled. And it's not fun to have to turn around and go back and realize that these people you trusted, these people you looked at them as our movement's thought leaders. These are people out there fighting that evil Team Blue, that rotten, awful Team Blue for us. They're fighting for us, okay? And you tell yourself, okay, that Team Red versus Team Blue shit is real. And so it matters, and we're fighting them. Thank God for people like, okay, I'm trying not to throw up, okay. Thank God for people like John McCain. Yes, I said his name, sorry. Paul Ryan, John Bonner, Jeff Flake, George W. Bush, George H.W. Bush, Dick Cheney, Donald Rumsfeld. Thank God for these people. They're out there fighting for us. I believed that shit at the time. I did. You know what it does to me inside, having to go back and look and say, holy shit, they fooled us on 9/11. I mean, you gotta talk about the recent shit they did. COVID, stealing elections, stealing 2020 elections, the massive censorship they did, which is still being exposed, by the way, with this Google story. Okay, there's all kinds of shit they did to us, all right? Just the recent stuff. But man, you go back, I'm having to go back to shit that I believe for decades. And one of these things recently is William F. Buckley and the John Birch Society. The John Birch Society was after trying to warn people, there's oligarchs out there. They're getting control of our country. They're buying up control of our country behind the scenes. You don't get to see these people. They do not come out in the open. Now, this is years before anybody ever heard of George Soros and knew who he was in popular culture. Okay, now he's very recognized. And like I've been saying, there's a lot of people behind George Soros. They put him out in front, as a lightning rod. So you won't see the dozen families behind him. You just focus on that one guy, okay? There's a reason he and his creepy looking son. The son always had the same creepy look when he got the picture taken. There's a reason they want to hold your attention. Don't let them hold your attention. Look behind them, okay? I have to go back and reassess all this shit that I thought I knew. And you find out that the John Birch Society actually had a lot of this right. There was a subversive entity out there. It was foreign. It was subversive. And you talk about creating a one-world government. How do you go about creating a one-world government? Now, people, okay, they tricked you by making you think they'd be obvious about it. They come out here and say, we now control this, the one word, the OWG has just taken control of Zimbabwe. They come out and announce it to you. Okay, listen. You don't understand how they've been doing it. Creating a one world government, they've been at this shit for a long time now. Did they make any sort of fucking announcement in 1913? We've now just successfully, after many years now, carefully positioned ourselves, we've taken over the United States of America. Good job, folks. On to the next one. Shit, no! Fuck no, they don't announce it. You think they fucking announce it? That they always had control of England, that they took control of France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Australia, New Zealand. You think they fucking make it obvious what they're doing? Come on, now we just bought all the politicians. We own all the politicians now. We own their media. We own all of it. We own their academia now. We bought them all out. It's ours. It's now part of our one world government. You see all the social media, the one world government's coming someday. One day it'll be here. We better get our shit together. Well, the UN will create a one world government. You talk about being fucking naive. It's all around you already, buddy. They don't, create the one world government a few years from now if we don't stop them? What the fuck are you smoking? And it's 11 o'clock and I have to go. I'm just getting warmed up. Oh, well, shit. Try not to do this again, all right? I totally forgot when I agreed to this appointment at 11:30. I have to really get my act in gear. 11:30, I'm having an appointment to get my hearing aid fixed, okay? And if I remembered that I was supposed to be live at that time, I'd have tried for a different slot. But when I did that this morning, they told me if I don't get it done today, I have to be without one of my hearing aids till October 6th. And so I'm like, no, forget that. I have to go today. So let's keep this in mind, all right? That whole one world government thing, they're already here. What the fuck do you think Donald Trump has been freeing our government from? What the hell you think's going on down there in Brazil and Venezuela and all the fucking countries these oligarchs are in control of? What the hell do you think they've been doing? Ooh, that one world government's coming one day, someday. They'll use the UN to do it. Oh man, you talk about losing the plot, man. But anyway, I have to stop there. Thank you for watching. I'll be back on Friday, and I'll probably be just as upset. Going back over shit I thought I knew, and I now have to reassess because I woke up, I drank my coffee, I am dangerous now, okay? God bless you, and I will see you all on Friday.